What's up, dogs? This will be the first installment of a segment I'm doing called Motorhead Mondays. It's kind of douchey, that's all I could think of. I've been getting really into cars probably the last few months, pretty heavy. My dad's always been into cars. Grandfather was a mechanic for years. And it's something I've been slowly getting into. And so the plan of this segment is every Monday I'll break down a car and just talk about it. Cars I like, new cars coming out. I'm Chevy biased, but I'm definitely going to talk about all kinds of products, not just Chevys. My dad's got a 72 C10. Plan on talking about with him. We've been restoring that. It's actually getting painted right now. About to drop a 350 in it. We took out a 307. It's been shit, but it's a short bed, and those are pretty hard to find with the old C10s like that. So working on that, and also we have a rat rod we're working on. It's a 49 Ford body with a 80 Corvette chassis. We put a 383 in it, Weber 48s carburetors, and I forget. It's just got a Power Glide transmission in it. It's just a nice little goulash of everything. I won't talk about that on this episode right now. I'll have him on and let him talk about it because he can explain better than I can, and it's fun getting to do projects like that, fabricating and stuff. It's a lot different than just taking on parts and taking off parts and bolting it on and all that. So that's the plan for this segment. When I do them on Mondays, I'll try to drop one every Monday. But this first episode, I'm like I said, I've been learning a lot about cars, more so. And I'm trying to learn everything I can. I like to learn the mechanics, why they work, how they work, things you can do to make them run different, run faster if you want it to handle better. But the car I've always had an obsession with is I'm a big Camaro guy. And first gen, early second gen Camaros, they're some of my favorites. Like 72, 73 Camaro, I like the split bumper look. That's my shit. But I'm also a big fan of the fifth and now the sixth gen Camaros. That's what I want to talk about. It's coming out this year, 2018 ZL1 1LE. If I could own one car right now, that would be the one car I would own. And I'm not going to go into talking about it compared to Hellcats. I'm definitely not going to talk about the Exorcist that Hennessy made that came out. And I'm not going to talk about the Dodge Demon and all that. That's another episode. I'm sure I'll talk about those. But this one is specifically just the ZL1 1LE, what it offers, what differences it has, what I like about it. Some things I want to learn more about on them. And just, that's my plan for this. I don't know how long it's going to run. I'm guessing 20, 25 minutes. But every Monday, I'll try to talk about that. So, but this first one, like I said, it's over the 2018 ZL1 1LE. Which I think looks clean as hell. The one they always preview, it's white with like this black trim. It just looks fierce. If you could murder it out, I like murder out. With newer generation Camaros, I like to see them murdered. I have a speech impediment when I say that. Murdered out. With older stuff, I like the classic look, but with the new stuff, black on black on black on black, everything just, I think it just looks so clean. But no, this car, you get all of just balls to the wall ZL1 horsepower, and the 2017 ZL1 already improved its handling tenfold. And then you have the 1LE trim with the handling that it already has, that ZL1, like I said, improved on last year. It's just a monster in my opinion. And again, I'm Chevy biased, I'm Camaro biased, but no, I'm assuming if you're listening to this, you probably know about them. And I'm going to try to break stuff down to try to help people understand, because again, being newer to cars, there's stuff that people talk about where I'm kind of lost. I don't know what necessarily they're saying. So I try to make it where it's easier to understand. But this was introduced not too long ago. It was February 24th. I remember watching it. It's Daytona 500. Jeff Gordon unveiled it. Who I'm a NASCAR guy. That was my driver growing up. So he unveiled it. He drove it as a pace car. That's where it unveiled, and I think it's a pretty fitting place. But just as a backstory, I guess, the 2017 ZL1 compared to the 2017 1LE, the 1LE had 450, or you could even compare it to like the SS now. It's got 455 horsepower, roughly. The 2017 ZL1, just last year's, and this year's, the specs are going to be pretty close, but the horsepower and the gain is going to come from the 1LE package added onto the ZL1. So the ZL1 makes 200 more horsepower and 200 more pound-feet of torque than the 1LE does, or any Chevy out that's right now. They are making, like I said, the SS is making 455. This one's making, around 650 horsepower, 650 pound-feet of torque. So the ZL1 by itself is a monster. It's a beast. It had magnetic ride control, Cadillac. That's what Cadillacs were running. That's their base. And there's nothing wrong with magnetic ride control. It's real good for your suspension, real good handling. But they even improved upon that. So the 1LE package, it's given it a whole lot more downforce with that horsepower. It's got a carbon fiber wing on the back. It's putting a lot on the ass end, holding the car down, getting a lot more traction. And, it's got the same stuff that helped with the ZL1 last year. It's got with the limited slip differential, and it's got the Brembo brakes all the way around. So it's got all the good stopping power, because the earlier ZL1, it was just it had a lot of horsepower and balls to it, but the handling wasn't necessary. It's kind of like the way I've heard the 2018 described is if you took the Z28 and mixed it with a ZL1, this is what you would get. And a lot of people, they thought when they would see these spy videos of them testing what they thought was new Z28, it turned out to be the ZL1 1LE. But the reason it's sitting a Z28 is it's not naturally aspirated. It's supercharged. It's got the supercharged, I'm blanking on it right now. Supercharged, oh, damn it, I'm sorry. The one they run the Corvette, the Z06, there we go. The one they run on the Corvette Z06, so it's a LT4 V8, and it's supercharged. That's why it's not a Z28, because Z28 is always naturally aspirated. And they've pretty much said, that's a successor to it, but they're not ruling out that they might not make another Z28, so you don't have to worry about that if that's what you're into. So that's why it's just differentiated. But it's the ZL1 1LE compared to just the regular ZL1, it's about 70 pounds lighter, roughly, just with the wheels they got on them. They said on their breakdown that they shave off about 2 pounds. The wheels and tires alone that they're using shave off about 2 pounds on each side, and that's not changing, the dive plates they have, the splitter they got, carbon fiber wing, air deflectors, all that they've added on, and stuff they've taken off that are given less weight and more downforce. But now they went from 285 tires all the way around, stock 285s. They're running 305s in the front and 325s in the back, which for Camaros is the biggest they've ever ran, just stock. So you're getting a lot more. Obviously, you're getting a lot more surface area on the ground. You're going to get a lot more traction, a lot more grip, especially, like I said, with that downforce. It's just sticking, and they've made tires specifically for the ZL1 that are an inch wider than the standard ZL1 tires and an inch smaller in diameter. So, and I'm trying to remember what else I know they made custom tires for it. I'm trying to remember what they called them. I haven't looked into the specifics of what those necessarily did. But like I said, I'm still learning about this stuff as I go, so some of it's kind of spotty. But I feel like this is going to help me remember a lot more by saying it out loud. And obviously there's going to be some people that are strict car dudes that listen to, oh, you fucking idiot, you didn't know that. You didn't fucking, And I don't act like I know everything about cars. I don't. I know what I know, and I'm learning as much as I possibly can about them. So don't fucking dog on me when I'm wrong about something or something's off. You know, I'm doing the best I can, but you know, they added 11 coolers for the engine, and that is, as far as I know, the most coolers on on an engine I've ever heard of is 11. Again, I could be wrong on that, but that's what I know. And like I was saying, they used the magnetic ride control prior for just the ZL1. With the 1LE, they used something that's really new to me that I've been reading up on. It's dynamic suspension spool valve. They're made by Multimatic, and they're based out of Canada. And it's kind of a weird, it's different. It's kind of difficult to understand if you're not looking at like a diagram of it. But it's basically just like, with the shock, it's a self-piloted spool, and it's fluid flows through the spools. It's got valve ports, and you can mathematically mold them and shape and fine tune, you know, the damper you want with the equation is force divided by velocity, and you can fine tune how much fluid's going through to what to vary how much damper you want. Which I saw they were using on the Chevy Colorados, and they do them. Formula One racing runs these same shocks, and it's just, you can fine tune what you're trying to do to them. Which, if the whole point of the ZL1 1LE is you can take it to the track, set it up for how you want to race, you can change your setup, drive it back home. They got adjustable ride height. You can adjust ride height, rear stabilizer bar. It's all adjustable. You can adjust the camber. So that's not, you show up to the track, adjust it how you want, race it, come back, or adjust it, go back home. So yeah, so you with the dynamic suspension, so the fluid flows, like I was saying, through the spools, got valve ports on it, and then you mathematically mold them, you know. And that's what the Z28 was using. That's how I was saying, if you put the Z28 with the ZL1, that's, excuse me, that's kind of, they're taking pros from the suspension, the Z28, and they're taking a supercharged motor and the ZL1, and just kind of throwing this together, and parts from the 1LE. They're all putting it together to make one dynamic car. And the ZL1, the old ZL1 versus the ZL1 1LE, they took it to, what's that road course they tested at? I'm blanking. That's going to drive me insane. I can't remember. Anyway, they timed the original ZL1, or ZL1, I keep saying original, ZL1 versus the ZL1 1LE, and it gained 3+ seconds on the same course. Just, that shows the improvement in the handling. I'm really bummed right now I cannot think of the damn course. But, Milford Road Course. There we go. Remembered it. Yeah. They ran them 3 seconds quicker with the 1LE package than just the standard ZL1. The downside, depending on what you're looking for, with the ZL1 1LE compared to the just straight up ZL1, and the debate you'd have to make is, I can pay $10,000 roughly. They don't have a price yet. $10,000 less for the ZL1, and not the necessary stock better handling trim options and suspension packages, and I can mod it out to compete with the ZL1 1LE, or you can pay the extra money, get the ZL1 1LE, but you're getting a 6-speed. The only option is a 6-speed manual. If you want a 10-speed automatic, which is faster, obviously, if you get a regular ZL1, you can get the 10-speed automatic, but your handling's not there. So it's you got to weigh your pros and cons, what you're wanting. You can get the just regular ZL1, get a 10-speed, and you can affect your downforce, change your tires, change your suspension, change whatever you want. Or you can get the already mostly race-ready ZL1 1LE. You get the extra downforce already. You get the wider tires. You get, the new shocks. You get all that. But you're getting a 6-speed manual versus a 10-speed automatic. So it's all about what you're looking for. I think the ZL1's an amazing car. I think the ZL1 1LE is amazing. I'm not necessarily going to a racetrack to race. If I was paying $60,000, whatever, $63,000 for just a regular ZL1, I would just save up the damn money and just get a ZL1 1LE and be done with it. If I'm really going to spend that much money on something, I might as well just keep saving. In my opinion, they don't have it priced yet, but it's anywhere between $70,000 to $80,000. It's roughly $10,000 more than the ZL1 by itself. So they don't have as far as I know, they don't have a date out. Sometime this summer it should be out, as far as I believe, and that's when we'll get a more accurate price for it. But it's lighter. Especially if you're going to the racetrack and you want to race, I think the ZL1 1LE is a way better option, just because it's already ready to go. Like I said, you drive to the track, set it up how you want, take it off the track, fix it, go home. And it's lighter, 60 pounds lighter, so they say, and they reduced the rear glass thickness. And like I said, the wheel, suspension, and tire package is just all around lighter. It's taken 2 pounds off each, just on tires alone. So, and you're getting wider tires. So you're getting wider tires, but they've lessened the weight with what they're using for the rims and wheels and there's no telling how much they're shaved off with the suspension. Like I said, they have different dive planes and the front splitter and carbon fiber wing. I'm sure that's adding a little bit more, but it's just sucking that car down so hard that they're saying corners it's getting 1.1 G's through the turn. It can just stick and just hold it through the turn. I would give anything to be able to go test drive one, which would be amazing. But if I could afford a car right now, that's what I would get. That in my head, that's what I would buy. Chevy wise, there are other vehicles from other brands I would buy, and this might not be the best breakdown of it, but it's me learning. I'm still learning stuff about it, and if I messed up somewhere, if there's something you want to add that makes it, a pro or a con to one or the other, or which one you would get, or how you would do it, let me know. Message me. I'm not a stubborn guy stuck in my ways. I'm right, you're wrong. I'm always open to learn. If you can teach me something, teach me. I like to learn as much as I can, and this is what I've picked up and what I've just been studying up on it, because it's what I enjoy. I like Camaros a lot. And the good thing about doing this is it'll make me have to learn about other makes and models that I necessarily wouldn't worry about, to learn about new cars coming out or old cars and what they offer. So this is it, man. That's my first episode. I think it went pretty well. I'm pretty happy with where my knowledge is going towards cars in general. I have a few guests that I want to get on to speak about what they think. I know a few Mopar guys. I know some just strictly Mustang guys. I know strictly Chevy guys. So I want to get as many people as I can on here with differing opinions, just to learn as much as I can. But that's the breakdown of the 2018 ZL1 1LE. It's going to get released. 650 horsepower, 650 pound-feet of torque. Hope I haven't said or like too much in this episode. I've been trying to tone down on that. But you're getting the 6.2 liter supercharged LT4 V8 with the same handling that you get with a 1LE with 200 more horsepower. And then you're taking the classic last year's ZL1 and you're adding a whole new suspension to it, whole new wheels to it. I personally think, and like I said, in my opinion, it's, if I could get one car, that's what I would get. But this has been my first try at this Motorhead Monday. So I appreciate it who listens. Like I said, if you have questions, ask questions. If you have comments, comment. Tell me I'm a fucking idiot. Tell me I'm wrong. Maybe you're not a Chevy guy. Maybe you're not a Camaro guy. Maybe I'm completely off the mark. Let me know so I can improve on it. I want to be able to look back a year from now and see my progression and my knowledge and what I'm able to spread. Hashtag BUFU Podcast. Find me on Twitter at BUFU Podcast. Facebook, just look up BUFU Podcast again. I think the technical one is fb.me/BUFU Podcast. You can find it with that. Yeah, man. Just let me know what you think. Spread the word. I got YouTube clips up. I try to clip the best I can out of every episode. So, yeah, man. Spread the word. Let everyone know. I appreciate it. That is my first installment and review of the 2018 ZL1 1LE Camaro. So, keep on BUFUing.